Hey,
Hello, Bob.
hello.
How are you
How
doing?
goes it? I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good too. Doing good. Um, all right. Well, we're here at 6, and this is going to be our first episode of Into the Toy Box.
hmm
And
The new
yeah,
name.
new name, same streamers, new name.
Yep.
All right. I am going to bring over our guest, TX Customs,
Cool.
and add him to the stage.
Hey everybody,
Hey,
how are
Chris.
you? Hey
Hey,
Bob,
how are you? How are you?
how's it going? How's it going?
It's going all right. It's going all right. Um, I'm just gonna, I guess, get some stuff out of the way first. So, um, let's see here. Let me get to the chat and see. All right. So, you guys having a good weekend?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, beautiful outside.
Yeah. When you texted me earlier, I was like, "Hey," I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna send it out as soon as I can." I was trying. I told my wife that I would like cook burgers on the grill, and so I'm out there and I'm like trying to get all that stuff done fast. And then it looks like it's about to start raining. I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" And then it's like I got in a thunderstorm alert. I'm like, "Man," I was like, "I hope I can finish this out here and then get back in there." So
Yeah,
anyway, well, yeah, I did. Burgers were cooked. We ate, and I was able to get in here. But
perfect.
yeah, we are happy to have you.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Here.
It's awesome.
I guess I've
The
been
first guest.
following you for I don't know, maybe a year, maybe less than a year. I'm not sure, but I noticed some. I noticed the post with the Eagle Force guys
Yeah,
and some of your vehicles that you've done, and so I was like, man, this stuff looks pretty awesome. You
I
know.
appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so it's for me. It's like it's one thing for me to like customize a figure or something like that, but I don't really do vehicles,
Yeah,
because that's just I don't really. I mean, I don't even really have very many vehicles like in my setup or whatever.
right.
And so, to see somebody like customize them and do what you're doing with them, it's pretty cool.
I appreciate it. I'm the same way with the action figures though. Like I would love to be able to put those together and customize them, but it's just a totally different beast, man. Like I wouldn't even know where to begin. I've tried my hand at a couple, and just wind up getting really frustrated, and I don't mess with it too much.
Yeah, it's to me, it's I do a lot of kit bashing, so there's not a whole lot of painting because my
Yeah,
painting sucks. When it comes to little stuff, and
right.
I've just realized like in the past like 2 weeks that I've got to buy some readers for me to be able to see stuff because it's
Yeah,
like I cannot see the small stuff anymore,
yeah, yeah.
And anyway, it's kind of been like, well, somebody said, hey, just try these on and see if you can like, and then I put them on and I was like, oh my God, I can see so better with these,
Yep.
and they're like, yeah, just don't walk around with them, I'm like, okay,
Right.
okay, but
Yeah, I've got to get some of those magnifying glasses with the light on them and everything.
yeah,
Hey
because
man, I'm the same way. I've even had my wife like, "Hey, can you cut this for me? It's like really small, or can you read what this decal says?" Like I don't want to put something on there thinking it says like no step or warning, and then it says something totally different.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. And for me, it's like I'm trying to put as much light on something as I can,
Yeah,
and I'm like, that's not even really helping because I still can't see, what I'm saying? So it's like, so I'm like, okay, I think I'm going to put the painting on pause until I go to Walmart or whatever and get me a pair of readers just to see how it's looking. But yeah. All right. So just going to run through the chat. Bjorn was first again. Yeah.
Bjorn?
Yeah. He was first. Um, Defiant Outer Rim Station.
What's up, Defiant?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
I think in there.
I think Defiant was there shortly after Bjorn.
Hey, there's Starboy.
There he is, Starboard Station.
Yeah, he has a hellacious setup.
Yeah, he does.
Mm-hmm.
He does.
Let's see here. Yeah, this is where the fun begins, Joel. All right. That is that. I think as we go further, Bob, I'm going to end up shifting some of this to you so you can like,
Okay. Yeah.
go,
Not
hit
a problem.
and run the board a little bit, I guess. All right,
Yeah, I got
so
some training on downstream that one
oh, you
time.
did.
So sure.
You did. You got some what do they call it? Some on the job training.
Mhm.
Hey,
OJT.
that's how I got my job now. Was all on the job
Oh,
training. So
so Chris, so how long have you been customizing?
I think it's been probably 5 years.
Okay.
I started, well, I used to collect, so I've been collecting Star Wars stuff for as long as I can remember. Same with G.I. Joe. And I came across a lot of people know Empire Toy Works, Chris,
mm,
um, what's his last name?
Is it Shaler?
Chris Shaler, yes. So I came across his stuff, and I saw his vehicles. Those were, I mean, his buildings and his play sets are great, but his vehicles really caught my attention.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it inspired me to try my hand at it. I took it's on my Instagram page. I had taken a Leonard tank shell and made it like an Empire tank, and put one of his rocket launchers on top, and just kind of, just did it for myself, really, just to see if I could do it. And then just got curious, and I was on eBay looking at other custom stuff. And to be honest with you, there's a lot of ugly stuff out there. And I'm like, this stuff is selling, I'm like, let me just see what happens if I put this tank up here, and man, it sold within 24 hours. And that's all she wrote, man. After that, I was just like, I really tackled, after that, I really got into some G.I. Joe stuff. And then I missed the Eagle Force Kickstarter, but then I don't remember how I came across Eagle Force, but of course that was like a blessing, because they still don't have any vehicles, they don't have any vehicles. And then also they don't have any backpacks. So I was detailing some backpacks too, putting them on some magnets and stuff like that. And just got carried away. And this is where I'm at 5 years later.
So were you I guess were you doing action figures before that? Or are you like, did you have them still left over from a kid or anything like that? Or you just sort of got kind of just like,
I had a few extra, I had a few, I think it was the 25th anniversary or 50th anniversary figures, right, of G.I. Joe, the more articulatable figures. And so I just kind of went with that. And then once I started customizing more and more, I was buying more and more figures, just to kind of really just to kind of go, to go with them. And it was also an excuse, I could give my wife, hey, I can sell this vehicle, but it's going to look weird if I don't have, the right guy to go with it, So she's like, okay, well, you got to sell 2 customs to get this guy. And so, it's kind of snowballed from there,
Yeah, I do. I definitely do.
Starboy wants what?
Yeah.
Can you tell
Yeah,
the
he
story about
said,
the barge?
he said, what's the story about the barge?
So the barge behind me, if you guys don't know the story, I had posted it on Instagram. So about I guess it was about 6 months, or maybe it's been a little bit longer. I was on Facebook. Man, I'm on Facebook Marketplace probably like 50 times a day, because sometimes there's some stuff that people sell, and if you don't jump on it quick, man, it's gone, right?
Right.
So this barge had been up on Marketplace for like 3 weeks, and I was like, there's no way that this thing, and I live towards Austin, and this was up by Dallas, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it said $1 on it, and I'm like, okay, what's up with this, right? So I read it, and it's like the thing literally says, hey, I got this barge. The story was that the guy that owned the warehouse, he was renting it to these guys who built this barge. They had lost contact with him. He's tried to contact him over several months, but he had sold his garage, and they were about to, the guys that bought it were going to knock it down. When I went there, I could see that there was construction around. So they're going to build over this thing. And he's like, basically just make me an offer for it. He's like, people keep saying that they're going to come get it for X amount of dollars, but nobody wants to come get it. He's like, literally, if you can't get it by Wednesday, it's going to go in the trash.
Right.
So I'm like, well, hey man, I got a truck. I'm like, is it going to fit in the truck? And he's like, it might. I mean, he's like, this thing is long. It's like really, it's like it's 6'4". I'm 6'1". This thing is 6'4". So I had to put it diagonally in my 8-foot bed, you know, of my truck. But yeah, so I was like, hey, will you take $100 for it? And he's like, yeah, come on. And I'm like, you're kidding, man. So I'm like, dude, I'm driving. Like I texted him that morning, hey, I'm driving up there. Are you sure? Like he's like, yeah, I'm here. Come on. So yeah, I got there and I saw this thing and I'm just like, this is incredible, you know. So I bought it for $100.
Now, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I bought it for $100. Brought it home. My wife couldn't believe it either. Paid the guy in cash, and I mean, it's on a stand. It's on a clear stand, and I'd like to put some sand underneath it, like some real sand, to make it look like, you know, really, really cool. It's actually, you know, it's way bigger than the HasLab barge, and it's got a couple of big openings you can fit. I mean, there's a speeder that's all the way inside, plus it has room behind it. I mean, the thing is massive.
Bjorn is asking, how heavy is it?
It's heavy. I could lift it myself, but it's probably, if I had to guess, I'd say probably, well, without the stand by itself, it's probably like 75 pounds.
Wow.
With the stand, yeah, it's the stand is like solid wood, and it's got the plexiglass to hold it up on each side. It's heavy, man.
So it's made, you said it's made out of wood.
Well, the stand itself is made out of wood. I don't know what they used for the for the material itself. But yeah, that sucker is the
I thought that was the actual HasLab, because I don't have one of those. So
no, it's smaller. It's the HasLab is smaller than this thing. So if you can imagine.
Yeah, that's an awesome pickup right there.
Yeah, that is huge. Yeah, that's like the biggest score I've had on Marketplace, you know. And the biggest thing I have in my collection, really.
I don't really use Marketplace, but I guess maybe I should. I don't know, because see, I live in Arkansas, and so it's not really the best state for people to like sell toys and stuff, because it's just, I don't know what it is. It's almost just kind of terrible to try to find, you know, stuff like that, you know. But well, maybe I have to look back again, I guess.
You gotta know what to search for. Like a lot of times, like you got to think of, if you were a mom and you're trying to clean your kids' toys out, you just put like boys' toys, army toys, like just real simple stuff. Like if you put like Chat May or like, you know,
search stuff by like specifics.
Yeah, right? I mean, you might find some stuff, but if you find it by that name, that means that the person who listed it knows what they got, and they're probably you're not going to get a deal.
I get what you're saying. Yeah. Okay. So, so how big of a Star Wars fan are you?
I'm a pretty big fan. If I could show you the rest of my room, I mean, it's all Star Wars, man.
Well, so do you have any of the HasLabs?
I do have the HasLabs. I have the Razor Crest, and I bought 2 of the Ghost. Bought 2 Ghosts so I could open one, and then I could keep one.
Yeah.
I did have the Jabba Sail Barge. Now I did buy that, but when I saw how much they were going for on eBay, and I wound up selling it to a guy in England who paid like 3 or 4 times as much as what I paid for it. So it's like, yeah, man, I couldn't. I don't love Jabba that much. You know?
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. If somebody's going to make me an offer, or I'm like, oh, really? Then I'll sell it, because it's like, to me, that funds other stuff. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely.
So
I do have the Razor Crest. I should have bought 2 because I'd like to open it just to have the ship too. But I mean, I only have so much room, you know.
I get it. I don't have any of the HasLabs. I was mostly I was into action figures as a kid, and then went into comics pretty quickly after that. I had like all the Star Wars and G.I. Joe figures and Transformers, and then I went right into comic books right shortly, like I said, right after that, and I was pretty much been a hardcore comic fan for like 30 something years or whatever. And so The Mandalorian came out, fast forward, you know, and I was still buying some action figures here and there. Like I had all the Clone Wars figures. They were still on the card because I was going to keep them. So if my kids wanted to play with them, they could. And then they decided they didn't really care about action figures. And so I ended up selling them all, you know, I got rid of most of the stuff, just because I'm like, not really going to have it. You know, I'm not really, if they don't want to play with it, I'm not really going to do much with it anyway.
Yeah.
And So anyway, The Mandalorian came out, and that sort of got me back into the action figure. I guess it got me the bug of getting action figures. I was buying Black Series figures, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I eventually decided to I wanted to take some pictures of my figures since I had a bunch of figures and stuff. And so created this Instagram, and then I saw, people starting to, of course I saw Empire Toys, Works and all that stuff. And I saw starting to, world build and stuff like that. Sky Bottom, he was world building at the time too.
Yep.
And so I end up saying, hey, I kind of would like to do something like that. I kind of want to tell a story, and so that was, I guess about 2 years ago, about 3 years ago, I guess I created this account. And about 2 years ago, I kind of really got serious about really wanting to tell stories and take pictures of the 375-inch figures.
Right.
And so I pretty much just strictly phased into that, and that's what I've been doing. And so I missed out on the HasLabs and stuff like that, which it's fine. It's like I've got room for it probably, but it's like I want to do if it's a vehicle and it's really cool and I can get a good shot with it, that's one thing.
Right.
But it's it's getting a picture of a vehicle and figure sometimes is kind of hard to do.
It is. Even for Billy Kessler, you follow him?
Yeah.
He's gotten a couple of my vehicles, and sometimes, he's got a tank that I made him, and he's got a couple pictures of it in the background, but it's so big, it's hard to get, and if you don't know what you're looking at, you kind of miss it.
Yeah, I've seen that he has. I've seen where he's taking pictures of some of your stuff that he's got, and some of your vehicles, I guess.
That was before we get too far, somebody asked the Cantina. I'm not getting the Cantina.
Yeah.
That thing is.
I'm getting the Cantina.
Are you getting the Cantina? Okay, I won't. I won't trash it too much.
Okay. Well, for me, the deal was I haven't gotten any HasLabs before because I didn't have a place to put them and display them.
Right.
But since the Cantina is modular, I can break it down and fit it on these shelves behind me.
That makes sense. Yeah.
In pieces and kind of stretch it out over a few shelves.
That makes sense.
Make a little entertainment district.
Now, are you getting the deluxe or are you getting the regular?
Yeah, I went all in so I could have more pieces.
Good for you. You think it's going to get funded?
I hope so. I hope it gets all the stretch goals too, because those that 4-armed alien and that werewolf.
Yeah, I agree. Those are cool figures, but that's a high stretch goal, man.
Yeah, it is. But even if it doesn't make the stretch goals, I have a feeling since those look like Paint Masters that they were showing in the pictures. So I have a feeling the tooling is already made.
They're going to come out.
So Hasbro's going to probably put them out in some way at some point.
They'll be
even if they hit the stretch goals, I think they'll put them out again.
They'll be out.
They will. Yeah, they will. I don't know if you remember, there was a Marvel Legends HasLab that came out. I think it was the Ghost Rider, right? And
you got to say Madeline Pryor.
Yeah, remember, and that came out. So you're right. If it doesn't reach it, they'll come out with it.
Yeah, if they've already tooled the figure.
They're going to get their money out of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't have any HasLabs, but I think I may go in on this one. It's going to come to, I don't know. I've got a few things I got to work out. Eagle Force just hit, man, and so
I know
that took a chunk of my money. So it's not a big window as it normally is. So I'm gonna have to figure some stuff out. But I do plan on it. But I'm just gonna get the I guess the non-deluxe version.
Okay, yeah, the regular version.
Yeah, because
the regular version still comes with a lot. A lot. All those tables and chairs and
and the 1,000 cups.
My thing is to me, it's there's so many 3D guys out there that have been building this Cantina, and parts of the Cantina. And to me, if I was Hasbro, I'm like, okay, these guys have built the heck out of this thing. And after 49 years of Star Wars, this is what I came up with as a HasLab. I don't know, man. To me, it seems lazy. I feel like there's so much other things out there to touch and do. But you know, I'm just a lonely little starship customizer. So what do I know?
Hey, let us old dudes get this cantina before we die, okay?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have a
You know,
3D printer.
you know, it has. I'm sure everybody has their, you know, their gripes and complaints about it. You know, it's like you know, I'm like, is it a little overpriced? Yeah, it is. You know what I'm saying? But you know,
Well, look, Brian, to me, it's not a complaint because, like I told my wife, I said, "Hey, good news, bad news." I'm like, you know, they came out with a new HasLab. I'm like, good news is I'm not getting it. You know, and she's like, "Thank God." You know,
yeah, well, that money will go into something else, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't get a Ghost. I didn't, you know, like I just thought that that one I thought was too big of a vehicle for me to use. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm a pretty big Star Wars fan, but it's like
Yeah.
I don't even have the Falcon right now, so it's like you know, the vehicles are not really, you know, something I'll lean into eventually, right?
Right.
But
what about the E-wing? Did either of you get the E-wing?
Didn't get the
well,
E-wing.
my plan was to get two, but my dumbass forgot to get them before the window closed. So I'll be searching for one at some point when they I straight up was going to get two. I'm like, you know what? I don't mind paying $100 for a vehicle, you know, especially one that they're creating pretty much. I think it's pretty much a new deal.
It is.
And so I'm like, I don't mind that, you know, and anyway, I dropped the ball, but I'm sure I'll be able to find one. Somebody probably has two or three they're getting, and it's a good community, so I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, you'll get one. You may even find one customized, you know.
Yeah. You know, like I said, that's one of them I regret not pulling the trigger on right then and there. And after that, I was like, okay, if I see this again, I'm definitely gonna pull the trigger on it, and I'm not gonna wait around. I just forgot about the window. I forgot that there was a window, and so anyway, let me get to this chat. So, is that Robo the first MCR? I don't know if I know who that is. All right. Yes. Hey, Task Force. What's up, man?
What's up?
Yeah. No, I get it. I mean, it's definitely your money to spend however you want to. I am getting it mostly. Well, I am getting it mostly because I want to try to, you know, get the figures, and then I do want to get some of the, you know, modular pieces.
Right.
But you know, I kind of already told myself I was going to get it if it was the Cantina. You know, and they're making this big deal about how 2025 they're going back to Tatooine. So it's like, man, maybe that's when we're going to get the rest of these guys. If they got the Cantina, maybe they'll want to make the rest of them.
I know Luke, Ben, Han, and they have been pipelined for all new sculpts, and then like a retooled Chewie has been pipelined.
Okay.
So
yeah,
you'll get more of your Cantina folks.
Yeah, I mean, for me that's cool and everything, but it's like I don't really do like. I'm probably a terrible Star Wars fan, but it's like I don't really do like in my world, like really named people. You know what I'm saying? So
same here. Yeah.
You know, it's like I probably will get a Luke, or you know, I don't have them as like, you know, because mine is not really a Star Wars world. It's kind of a everything that I kind of want
type feel.
Yeah. And so I hope that, I mean, like I said, don't get me wrong, I'm sure I will buy those figures, but I want to see more aliens in the pipeline, or more droids.
Yes.
You know, that's what I want to see coming. You know, we've got Luke and Han and all those guys. Let's see some Rodian 4-packs. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, I agree. Also, you know, last year they came out with the 3 3/4 Hunter from Bad Batch. Like, why is it taking them this long to get? Where's the rest of the team?
I know.
You know, I don't get it.
I know. None of us get it, because it's like that's money on the table right there.
Oh yeah. Every TBC guy wants the rest of the team.
Yeah. Hey, Joel. Well, okay. You don't have to get the canteen. I mean, you don't have to get the Cantina. You know, just wink, wink, wink.
Nudge, nudge.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's like I said, everybody has their opinion about it, and like I said, you can choose with your wallet. I think it will get funded. Will it hit all those goals? I don't know. But
Yeah,
you know,
that 17,000 goal is pretty high.
yeah,
That's
If I'm remembering it right.
it's but we'll see. That it's not going to make it's not. I don't think it's going to break anybody's heart if it doesn't reach all those goals, because I think they will make those figures.
Yeah.
I mean, they already did like the Rebels figures. You've got versions of the Rebel figures coming out right now that you're going to have the pretty much the whole team for before the Ghost gets out. It may not be exactly the ones in those outfits, but I mean the other outfits. But
yeah.
Like I've got all those guys coming. Zeb's here, but Kanan and Ezra are pre-ordered, and I just didn't have $500 to get a Ghost to sit in my garage.
Yeah.
So, but the cantina I can display. But anyway, hey Dom.
Yeah.
Hey Dom, appreciate you showing up, buddy. I know you're probably tired still from that holiday from Italy, but thanks for showing up.
Thanks everybody for showing up.
I don't guess I know who that is. MCR. I know Deluxe Baldwin, the Transformer guy. He lives in the same town I live in. I just saw him yesterday at Target, but I don't think he knows who I am. Let's see here. All right,
should introduce yourself.
Yeah, I don't like, hey man, I was like, I like the Transformers, but you don't know who I am. But anyway, all right. Let's see. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start showing some of these shots as soon as I figure out how to work this computer. Okay. All right. Joel's met him. Okay. Hey, Pirates. Welcome. All right. Hey, okay. Also, okay. So do you know Dom? Oh, maybe it says through eBay.
Yeah, it says through eBay. So I would. That's funny. This happened to me with Billy Kessler, right? So like I had been looking at his stuff on Instagram, and I was thinking, just this guy takes amazing pictures, right? So I told my wife, I said, hey, what do you think about me making this guy this tank, an Eagle Force tank, and sending it to him, and like he can take pictures with it, and then he can tag me in it, and maybe I can get some more followers, get noticed. And I'm telling you, man, hand to God, later that evening, my eBay goes off, and this dude is buying 2 of my Eagle Force vehicles. And I'm like, I'm putting the names together, and I'm like, is this? And so I messaged him like, hey man, is this you? He's like, yeah, man, I love your vehicles, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, same thing. I'm like, you know who I am? I'm like, oh, cool, man. So we started chatting, he took some pictures. I wound up making him the tank and sending it to him. And so like sometimes, I'll meet people on Instagram. They're like, hey, I really enjoyed this, the vehicle I got. And I'm like, oh, who are you? And they're like, oh, I'm such and such, on eBay. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, cool. But like I tell everybody, hey, look, if you would hit me up on Instagram, if you follow my Instagram, I put the link up there just so people can, because a lot of people are, hey, is this for sale, or do you have this? So at least they can just see or kind of get an idea of what it costs. But if I tell people, if you hit me up on Instagram, I can give you a better deal because I don't have to pay the eBay fees and stuff.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So some people have taken advantage of that, and some people, hey, look, they don't know me from Adam's Housecast, so if they want to do it through eBay, I totally get it, man. It's safe, and they know that that I'm on the hook. But the other thing too is I always tell people, I don't know if you guys know too, I have a YouTube account where like anybody who buys a custom from me, I make a video for every single custom and show them the ins and outs of it, how everything works on it, if something were to come off, how to fix it. And just give them my contact information. That way it's guaranteed forever, man. I stand behind my stuff,
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. I actually, for whatever reason, I guess, I mean, I do have a few vehicles and stuff like that. So I may have to like hit you up, because it's like, there's a lot of cool stuff I've seen, but I was like, I guess I didn't put 2 and 2 together. Like, oh yeah, he's building these to sell or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, because there was several things I thought was pretty super cool, man. I mean, and we're gonna show.
I love those like 6-wheel Jeeps that you did.
Oh, I love those, man. Those are so fun to make.
Yeah, they remind me of like an old Fisher Price vehicle I used to have.
Yeah.
All right. So, hey, so I'm going to basically start showing pics, and I'll just let you talk about it however you want, as far as you want to go to with it.
Yeah.
All right. So there you go.
Yeah. Again, I like this guy, Clutch, right? That's Clutch.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Gear shift or something.
Gear shift. I'm sorry, Clutch is with G.I. Joe. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Clutch.
Yeah, Clutch, Gear Shift. I mean, super cool figure, man. A lot of times, 99% of the times when I do a vehicle, it's because I'm inspired by a character. I see a lot of when these waves of Eagle Force come out, and then I see people take pictures of them. I'm like, oh, I got it. I like one of the last ones I had was the it was like an adventure style truck that I made for a Silverback. That was all about him, you know, like, and I put myself into like, okay, if I was in Eagle Force, like if I'm making this vehicle for this guy for his mission, what does he need? You know, okay, he needs a rappelling rope, he needs a drone, he's going to need a kayak once he gets to the water, he's going to need a satellite dish, he's going to need, you know, XYZ. So I try to get into like, if I'm in that world, and I'm building this for this guy, like what's he going to need and what kind of look is he going to want for that vehicle?
I love that thought process on that because, you know, it's one thing just to, okay, I need to make this, vehicle for this guy, but it's like, but let me see what else needs to go with it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Sometimes I really have to stop myself. Like my wife is big into like watching everything I do. And she's like, do you really think you need to put all that stuff in there? And I'm like, no, but wouldn't it be cool? And then she's like, yeah, but save it for another vehicle. You know, like I could just keep going on and on and on, you know? And I don't want to overload it like that, like the cargo ship that Bob was just commenting on. I mean, I put everything from a little Afghan rug in the back to like, it's got carpet in the cockpit. It's got a removable captain seat, a removable passenger seat in the back, you know, that levitating bike, you know, attaches to the top. It's got a drone on the outside. I mean, on and on and on. Like I got all these little, and to me, it's the little details for me that I think really make it exciting when you get it in the mail. Like it's not just this big vehicle. There's like all these little things that go with it, you know?
Right. Yes. It's just not just one piece you pull out and there it is.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
The quick question: the logos you've got on here, like the one there on the back, and it looks like there's one on the hood there. Are those like? Do you print those yourself, or are they?
Yeah. So I actually, when I very first started making those vehicles, I reached out to it's Bill, right? Yeah, Bill Murphy. I reached out to Bill on Facebook, and I was like, hey, Bill, you know, I'm doing these vehicles. I'm customizing them. Is it possible for you to send me the JPEGs of these logos so that I can print them and they're the correct colors and everything? So he obliged. He sent me a couple. He sent me the basic Riot and the basic Eagle Force, and I had a buddy of mine print them for me. And then when he started coming out with Monster Force and a bunch of other stuff, I messaged him again, and he left me on red, which is fine. Like, I mean, he sees I'm selling them. I don't know his feelings on it. I mean, he likes some of my stuff. He likes it when I post it on the Eagle Force page and stuff. So I don't think he's, upset at me.
I think if he wanted to say something, he would have already said something about
it. He probably just left him on red because, you know, he's doing the whole Fresh Monkey Fiction thing, and he's got a day job.
He's a businessman. I mean, there's no hard feelings, but I wound up just getting him online, and then I sent him to my buddy, and he winds up, clearing them up and making them as nice as he can, and then prints them out for me. And I wound up I have a winter version of the Eagle Force figure on there, vehicle on my page, and he just basically took the Eagle Force logo and just, changed the colors up, the white and like a faded blue, like a different color blue on it and stuff. So,
cool. Yes. Yeah. I think I've seen that. It does look awesome. Hey, MCR. So yeah, that is Gear Shift, right?
Gear Shift. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see.
Let me ask you guys, is there, so I know Riot has that pilot, right? He's unnamed.
Mhm.
It's just like Riot Pilot is basically who he is.
Yeah, or like
Eagle,
vultures or something like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. Eagle Force doesn't have one, right? Or is it that cowboy?
Uh, Wild Bill, the cowboy guy, yeah, he is a pilot.
Okay,
But I think he's like the only one.
okay.
Only one I can think of off the top of my head. I think the rest of them are ground forces or
Yeah, yeah,
infantry types. And
yeah. We definitely need a pilot for sure.
I don't
now
know.
that
I'm
Maverick that
you
they're
know,
coming out with looks like he could be a pilot, even though he's
Okay.
a not Megaforce
who you talking
guy.
about?
The one Maverick
Oh yeah.
is one of the new figures that is coming out in this way.
Okay.
He's got a kind of pilot look to him. I don't think he's officially a pilot though.
Okay.
Well, Bjorn, which specific figure are you looking for, man? All right, so we'll go
Oh,
to
and Bjorn's got another question right after that about
yeah,
missions.
yeah. I mean, yeah. I think go to his page, and then you talking about commissions for vehicles because these are the I guess
Yeah.
mostly
So,
commissions. You know,
I do take commissions sometimes. Not that I don't like to. It's just again, like I like to feel inspired. Like if I take a commission, it feels like a job,
yes,
which it is, right? I'm taking on this job, and then it doesn't feel the same as when something clicks in my head and I just go for it. Again, that doesn't mean I don't take commissions. I got a guy right now that's asking me to make him a ship. Now I don't know if he still wants me to make it. I haven't gotten that far yet because I just posted that cargo ship for sale and it sold within 20 minutes. And he bought it. So I don't know if he still wants me to make him a ship, but I do commissions. I would like to do some Eagle Force commissions. Yeah, I mean, I'm open to suggestions. If it's something too crazy, I'll just say, hey, look, I'm really not interested. I hate to be that way, but at the same time, I don't want to force anything and it not turn out good.
yeah. For me is whenever somebody says, "Hey, just make me a custom or something," I'm like, it's like, yeah, I can do that. It's just, but it's like, it's hard for me to try to come up with something, what I'm saying, for somebody versus I already just made this,
Yes.
and so yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah. All right.
To answer Bjorn real quick, he was saying the one he was looking for came with the captain's hat. I believe that's High Tide. I think that's his name. I'd have to go look it up to be sure, but I'll double check after the show, Bjorn, and shoot you a message.
Yeah, I am terrible with these guys' names because I'm terrible. But
same here.
I found the Eagle Force late, like pretty much the year before last, I think it was, and it was mainly because of Bob because I kept seeing him having all the Eagle Force figures on his page and stuff. I'm like, man, those are some sweet looking dudes right there, you know. So I never knew about it, like I said, until I saw some of his posts when he was at Joe Fest, maybe the year before last, and I was like, "Oh man, those are some pretty awesome figures." And then when I saw the ball guys, that's when I was like, "Okay, I am down for this this toy line."
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the hidden figure was what just sealed the deal for me. I was just like, "Yep, this."
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. So I've gotten all the figures except for just very few. Like I wasn't into the Mario Brother type figures and the Charlie Brown type guy either. But the only one that I wanted that I didn't get was that Coyote figure that was being offered through that Kickstarter, I think.
Oh yeah, the Intel books.
The Intel books, yeah. That's the only one I didn't.
The custom.
Now, is that the one that they just said the other day that they might have a few pieces left
over?
Yeah,
they said they might have a few left over, so we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Does that head come? So does that head come with him too? I guess, Bob, you have him, right?
No, I do not yet, because he hasn't been released yet. He should be coming out soon.
Okay.
But it's the one with the not Chadwick Boseman head.
Yeah.
What says the monkey astronaut figure is what got him?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
that was a funny one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
For me, it's like I was not. I mean, I knew of Eagle Force when I was younger because they had the like little die-cast figures or whatever. But I wasn't really, you know, GI Joe was what my main toy was. You know,
Yes.
I mean, I love Star Wars to death, but it's like I could more relate to GI Joe than I could Star Wars. You know,
yeah, for sure.
But yeah, and I had millions more hours playing with GI Joe and all their vehicles and stuff. It was just that was, and so the other day when I got a few of the figures in, and it was almost like going back to those days of when they'd have waves of GI Joes hit the store, and I was lucky enough to get several of them at a time. You know, and I go home and I see this guy, he's different. You know what I'm saying? They all were different. You know, and it was like almost like catching that high again, you know, when I was looking at all these Eagle Force figures, you know, and I was like, man, that's awesome, you know. But I am down for the company now. Like I'll get as many figures as I feel like will fit what I'm, you know, doing. But it's like I'm more definitely, I'll probably venture into some of the main Eagle Force Gold Suit line, you know, just because, I mean, I don't know. I've got the bug right now, so
you got to be careful.
Yeah. I mean, I'm juggling a bunch of different lines anyway. Acid Rain is one of them, so it's like
that one's tough, man.
Yeah, man, it's tough. It's tough. But so tell us about this tank.
The tank it's just a really it's a small tank. I think it's really super cool because it's to me the bigger the vehicle gets, the harder it is to customize. Like I've done some of those big helicopters and it just takes a lot of time. And to me, I don't know, I just don't feel the payoff when it's done as good as I do when I do the smaller vehicles and the detail. It's just a cool little tank. A lot of times too, like I don't like vehicles that look too realistic, but I also don't like the weird, big machine guns that are on top and stuff like that. Like I can't have it that weird, you know, or that unrealistic. So a lot of times I'll strip those off and just put other little things on there, little gadgets or little, I forget what name some of the guys call it in Star Wars. But I'll just put little things on there to make it look like it's something else is functional. But yeah, that just a small little tank. This location is in Elgin, Texas. I really like that little area. It's like the only one that I found that I could put that little bridge on that the water actually goes under. You know, because that little GI Joe bridge is pretty small, short.
So that's from the bridge layer.
Yeah, it's from the bridge layer. I painted it like primer black.
Nice.
Yeah.
Greeblies.
Greebles or Greeblies. Yeah. I use a lot of those 3D printed. There's a guy called Remembering the Past. He's on eBay. He's got a lot of cool 3D stuff, 3D printed stuff, and it's good quality stuff. And I get a lot of those from him that I add to my ships and my vehicles.
Pirates of the Galaxy has the Whip Wednesdays where they have people send in these Greebles or Greeblies or whatever you want to call it, and they showcase like a lot of different uses out of them and stuff. But
there's some cool stuff that they show. It gives me a lot of ideas.
Yeah, a lot of people can find stuff and turn it into, you know, different things, and so it's pretty cool the uses that people can find out of some of this stuff, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, there's that Jeep.
Yeah, there's that little 6-wheeler and the water drone. Speaking of finding stuff, that's from the Hexbug Nano Space toy line.
Okay.
Yeah, so you actually put one of those vibrating bugs under and it, like, you know, crawls across the room or
really. That's what that is.
Yeah, or goes through the tube. But to me, I repaint them, and I think that one looks like a really cool water drone. And then there's one that I use for an air drone. So that's where I got that little piece from. A lot of those 6-wheelers, like if I find them used, they're missing a lot of pieces. So I like to use these type of pieces to fill in for those parts that are missing.
Now, I don't want to you know, like get too much into it or for you to spill any secrets or anything. But like, what is that? Is that a Fisher Price thing?
No, that's from Leonard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I am basically vehicle ignorant pretty much. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's okay.
But
that's from Leonard.
Okay. Well, that looks pretty cool, man. I have to say.
Yeah, it's a fun one. It's really fun to make.
So, is that something they sold in the past, or they still
Yeah, no, it's an older one. They don't make them anymore. A lot of times I'll find them on like I'll check them on Mercari or again Facebook Marketplace, stuff like that. I'll find them there's one on eBay right now that I'm watching. It's actually in the box. It's complete. If you guys are interested in that, it's for $20, which is a steal. And it's got a best offer on it. So you could probably get it for cheaper than that. And that thing it's got everything with it, it just needs
it looks pretty is it blue? Is that what color it is?
I colored it blue. Yeah. Like a navy blue.
Okay. What color is it normally?
Like a kind of a khaki tan. There's a khaki tan and there's like another green one.
That's really nice color work right there, man.
Yeah. That was really cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think you have a gray one on your page too, on your Instagram.
I did a gray one. I did one of my favorite ones that I did of that is the yellow one. It was the first one. It was the adventure team one. I did a yellow adventure team and it had everything on it. And I got the guy from the club exclusive, the G.I. Joe club exclusive, the adventure team one with the helmet. I got the pose with it. Yeah, it looks really cool. It was a really good one.
Yeah, is this the same area that you take most of your pictures from, or is this a different location?
I try to go to different locations as much as I can. And it also depends on like if it rains or not. Like that right there was pretty low. Right now I couldn't, if I stood right there right now, it would be up to my knees.
Gotcha.
So it just depends.
Okay. Yeah, this one's pretty sharp.
Like this. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the space stuff, man. As soon as those figures came out, I was like, I'm all about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did. That was to me what pretty much sold the line for me was the bubble helmet guys. And
yeah.
So, I'm down with those guys. So what vehicle is this? I guess
that's from the Leonard Star Core toy line. It's another one that's been out for a while. They don't make them anymore.
Okay.
I happened to run across that at Goodwill. And it actually came with everything. So yeah, I picked it up for a couple bucks and put a new paint job on it, put some decals, and it looks really cool. And
it does look really, really good. Yeah, I don't guess I have anything from Leonard. Like I said, I was pretty much not even into action figures, so it's like I feel like I've missed so much,
Yeah.
But man, yeah, I love this stuff. It's pretty cool. It's really cool.
The bubble helmet is what does it for me too, man. I don't know what it is about the bubble helmet, man, but it's just such a cool thing.
To me, it's just like a classic look. You know what I'm saying? And
it's like that.
What Bob?
I was gonna say it's like that old 1950s kind of sci-fi thing going on. Like I used to see all those movies like when I was a kid. They'd show them on like Saturday afternoons or Sunday afternoons on the independent channel, and
right. Yeah, it's so cool, man.
It's just classic.
Thanks for watching, Timbo.
Hey, Timbo.
I'm definitely, like I said, I'm definitely down for the bubble helmets.
Yep.
All right. This is cool. Who is the guy up top?
So let's see. Silverback's on the bottom, and then on top is he is the something junior. He's the sniper.
Okay.
Sniper guy. I can't remember his name either.
I love that shot. I'm sure it was hard to do that shot, right?
No, man, it was easy. I love doing those shots of the rappelling.
Yeah.
I just think it's so fun. Like it makes it look so real,
it's nice.
Yeah, it's really cool. That was the first. So I did a gold and black one before that, and then I did this blue and black one for a Silverback, and I think it turned out really, really good.
Yeah.
So is that a Leonard truck as well?
No, that's a Jurassic World truck.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Is that something that's been out in the past couple of years?
No, that came out probably about 4 or 5 years ago. I had got a bunch. They had I guess some clearance thing on some clearance guy on eBay had them, and he was starting them at like a penny each. And man, I cleaned house on those things, and I still have like 2 or 3 left over. I'm not exaggerating. I've probably made at least 100 different versions of that vehicle.
Well, I was gonna say, I think how many different, so in that many color combos, maybe?
There's only the only ones I've really made the same ones are the Dreadnought ones. People love the Dreadnought vehicles that I make. They don't last very long. And I've made several Dreadnought vehicles. Now, even though I've made several Dreadnought and I color them the same, there's always something that I add to it to make it, I don't like to make the exact same thing
right.
over and over. So there's always a little something that I change.
So let me ask you this. Do you have something that you make and you're like, oh man, this is too, it's like, I've got to keep this one. I can't sell it, man. It's gonna stay on the shelf. You know what I'm saying?
That's funny. My wife even says, she's like, so can I make payments on that? And I'm like, you're not buying this, So yes and no. Like, I don't make anything that I wouldn't keep myself. So I don't. So if for some reason I can't get rid of it, it'll stay in my collection. But the short answer is no. I don't have anything that I've posted. Everything is sold. There is one of the new Starfighters that I did post, and it was in the post today of the new shop that Epic Toy or Epic Woodwork made for me. It's that green and white and black one. I did put that for 120 because I'm hoping it's too high and nobody will buy it. And I repainted that droid, so the droid head. I don't know if you saw, the droid head fits underneath, and it's just so cool. And that one I would not mind keeping, but if I do sell that, I will make an identical one because I just love it so much.
I got you. Okay.
This tank.
That was that was one of the first ones that I made. I think. Well, the very first one was a Captain America attack tank, but that may have been the second or third one that I made for Riot. And I had made that tank, and then it literally sat here for like 2 or 3 weeks until that figure came in, and then I was so excited to get out there and take some pictures of it.
So is that's Thule, right?
Yeah, Thule. Yeah.
It's a nice color combination.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Here is another. I guess this is the same vehicle, right?
No, that's a different vehicle. That was the same. Yeah.
Oh yeah. You're right. My bad.
So that one, I had made. I don't know if you saw. I had made some bat vehicles that kind of delivered the bats like that, suspended in the air.
Yeah, I've seen some of those. Yeah.
So when they came out with that head sculpt, I was like, well, I should make these for those vehicles, as well. So yeah, I put some magnets in the back and hooked some magnets inside of the vehicle, and man, they attached up there easily, and I think it looks really cool. If you had like 4 of them, 2 on each side, and we're able to drive into battle like that, and these guys just pop off the side and get to business. I think that's really cool.
Yeah,
if nothing else, they're extra armor.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I didn't even think of that. Yeah, shields the guys from the inside. Yeah, good point.
That is the ultimate robot head to me, man.
Oh yeah.
It's like that was the first guy that I got. It was what's his name?
Draconis.
Yeah, Draconis. That was the first Eagle Force figure I bought.
Okay.
And so like I mainly just bought it just for that head sculpt.
For the head, yeah.
And it's like I'm like it's been on 15 different figures' heads. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know that Major Draconis head with the black and the white stripe in it. That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, I just something about a robot. It's something like about a robot, a droid head.
Oh yeah, for sure.
A different body, man. It's like I just loved it. And to me, the one eye, it's like it's to me that's the chef's kiss right there, man.
I hear you. Yeah.
Again, it's that retro cool look.
And yeah, because it's pretty much it's like you could put that head on like anything, and it doesn't even have to be a sinister, bad guy. It can just be a helpful droid or something, And so, man, it's like that's a really good, head swap right there for that guy, because it's like that's their. I guess that's your version of the bats. I guess that's right.
Yeah, for sure.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
Now, I wonder if go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Is that some like Lego on the side?
Yeah. So I did put that piece on there because it had some damage to it that I tried to fix, and it just like it. I tried to do everything I could to fix it. Again, it was some kid had owned it, and like I mean, he had a time with it. Good for him, man. But
battle damage.
It battle damaged it for good, for sure. And so yeah, I just put some pieces on there. I think I was trying to attach something on there as well, but I don't remember. It's been a while.
Bob, good spot.
Yeah.
I saw that too, and I was like, I didn't pay any attention to that being a Lego thing. I just like, okay, yeah, it was pretty sharp, you know. But as soon as you said Lego, I'm like, yeah, that's two Lego bricks right there, right?
Yeah. Yep. Those long strips, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they look good. It looks like a
pair. Yeah, it looks like it fit on there. I
don't
know anything about it if I didn't know, you know.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Okay.
Now, I do wish Fresh Monkey would do like a 5-pack of those robot heads.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Where you could just get like just the head. You know?
Yeah, that's something I'm gonna need you to talk to them about, Bob, when you go to Joe Fest.
All right, I will bring it up.
Man, head packs. We need head packs because it's like we need those. We need more of the werewolf heads. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, I agree.
You know, we need all those, and then I don't know. So did you get most of this wave?
Yes. So for some reason, I don't know why, they shipped it in three different boxes. I've only got the first box in of 3 figures, and the rest of them are come on the way. So I don't know what happened, but
so do you buy all of them?
I don't buy all of them, but the majority of them I do.
Did you get well, let me go ahead and say, so Timbo said great work.
Thanks, man.
You know, a lot of the chats, like, man, they're loving this stuff, man. But is it who's the guy, Bob, the Chill guy? What's his name? Baron Von Chill?
Oh, yep, that's it.
Did you get any of him?
I got the medieval one. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, the one that's got the silver face and then the little red hood that comes with him.
So that's the one that I got. That one that came in today, and then the 2 that came in the box. I think they were Japanese figures.
Okay. You talking about the Gremlin or not the Gremlin? Goblin. Yeah,
Goblin, and then another guy. I forget what name he is. He's an older looking guy.
Man, you can't really see it because the screen is like too small, but it's like that head sculpt right there. To me,
that is cool.
Is fantastic, man. I bought 2 of these guys specifically for that head sculpt.
That is cool.
Yeah, and I love it. Like I said, I do mostly, like, I want in my world, I'm kind of mostly aliens, droids, and troopers, and that's the majority of what I'm kind of trying to do. I mean, I'll have like regular people in there too, but droids, troopers, and aliens is kind of what I want to fill the world with. And anyway, that like I said, some of the head sculpts by Fresh Monkey Fiction, they're some of the best ones I've ever seen. You know?
Yeah, they got some good stuff.
It's like they fit exactly like what I would want them to do.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I think this is so yeah. Speaking of right,
yeah, speaking of the man.
Yeah. So you made the is it just is that the full size of it, or is there a back piece in the back?
That one there wasn't. This one didn't have a back piece. I just had an extra. Like, this was one of those things that was laying around, and I was like, this would be a cool moon rover, and put it on. Put it together. Put the little radar dish up there, and painted the gun up front and put the logos on there. And yeah, man, it was good to go. And he bought it, and of course, he took these pictures, and it just like it comes alive. The thing is great.
Yeah, he takes fantastic shots. It's Billy Kessler. That's his like.
I think that's his online. That's a stage name.
Yeah, Eddie. Eddie's something American or something, or I don't know.
Eddie American. So but it's like Eddie American. Like, are you American? Like, is that a real name too? Like, come on, like, you know, this guy's wanted by the FBI or something. Like, he's hiding out.
I always just called him Billy Kessler. I probably followed him for like a year, and then I was like, yeah, that Billy Kessler guy, man. It's like that's
thing,
posting Eagle Force stuff. I was like, we got to step it up, Bob. You know, and so
oh, I know.
And
well,
then
one thing I love is that they've started finally putting his pictures up in the listings on Big Bad Toy Store. And they make the figures look so much better than just those plain. Hey, here's the guy, and it's anyway.
That's because of you, Bob. Because you kept bombarding them with that all the time. It's like, hey, man, and you know, you need to put some quality pics up there instead of just the renders and stuff, you know?
Well, I want the figures to sell, you know, because
right.
I want them to make more.
I do.
I'm greedy that way.
To where I can't buy any, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like the genie is out of the bottle now. It's like it's not a you know, everybody knows about this line now. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah.
And FTR, I think you're right. I think I do remember that. That's like G.I. Joe comic book from the 80s, if I'm not mistaken.
That's interesting. Yeah, Billy Kessler was Cobra Commander's son. That's cool.
Yeah. Hey, Josh, what's up, man? Thanks for jumping in. So this, you know, like I said, he takes some good shots for sure, you know, and so whenever you see him posting shots of these guys, it's usually not that far away to where they're going to be getting closer to be here, you know,
right?
As far as getting them and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I think they said they give them like the paint masters to work with, and so usually by that phase, it's near end of production.
And the thing about it is, it's like some of these guys, it's like, you know, they're sold out and all that stuff, and you won't be able to get them unless you find them on eBay or something else. But it's like, you know, just like this guy here, I cannot think of his name. What's this guy's name?
Joe Brody.
Yeah, Brody. So it's like, I love this guy, and I got 2 of them, and I'm glad I did. But it's like, man, I wish I'd have got more now of this guy. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you see a picture like this, and you're like, damn. You know, why didn't you got a few more of these, you know?
Right.
Well, I will say I've started seeing some Eagle Force stuff pop up on AliExpress, like some of the stuff that's sold out at Big Bad.
Oh, really?
AliExpress has some of them. So if you can't find them at Big Bad, check there. I mean, I think they're a little more, at least the ones I saw, but
at this point,
they're cheaper than eBay prices.
Once they sell out of Big Bad, you might as well plan on plunking down $40 to $60. You know what I'm saying? Unless you can find a deal somewhere, you know.
Right. And
it doesn't even matter if they're loose or in the package at this point in time. They're going to get the same price no matter what.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But so MCR said he lost an eye and he was trained by Storm Shadow. Yeah, I think I remember that.
They never made a figure of them back in the day.
Yeah, Josh, just go out and buy your mailbox. I'm sure they'll be there any day.
Just wait for them. Yeah.
No need to tell us your address. We already know.
They'll be there.
They'll just show up.
Yeah, I can't gift you any of those. You know, not those guys. But we can talk about another dude. I'll send you. Let's see here. Okay, so. Those pictures that all you guys just seen was pretty much what Chris sent me, and so I went back to his Instagram and pulled some pictures off too, that I thought looked pretty cool. That they were not really, you know, they were, I guess, not so much modern, you know what I'm saying, or Eagle Force world related. I wanted to get into some of the, I guess, more sci-fi stuff. So do you want to talk about this?
Yeah, so that one I have that one is a clear I don't want to say knockoff. That's just my version of Chris Shaler's, and I don't know if he came up with it, but he's the first one I saw that did that combo. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to give it a shot myself because he doesn't sell any of his vehicles, so you know I got to try to do what I can to, if I see something that I like of his, to try to give my hand at it. So yeah, that's one of the versions that I made. A lot of times too, like when I make multiple versions, just different color schemes, like I kind of figure these vehicles out a little bit better each and every time I dig into them. So the newest version of that one is the green and tan one. Have you seen that one? It comes with a bomber wing and also both fighter wings.
I'm not sure if I have or not.
Okay, so the difference with that one and this one, this one was an earlier version, so the wings are static. The newer ones that I have, I've been able to attach some magnets on there, so that they're removable, interchangeable, and they can also move independently of each other. So that's my what do you call it? It's that's my progression on that vehicle.
Yeah, I mean,
evolution. Actually,
at this point in time, we're all stealing from somebody else, right? At some point, you know what I'm saying, or some kind of an idea or something here or there. I mean, that's pretty much just art at this point in time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's always, cool to see somebody's, their art or whatever
version of it,
of it, and see how it progresses from a different, perspective and stuff like that.
Right.
I thought that was pretty cool. And yeah, Chris makes a lot of good stuff. I mean, I like to see other people making stuff too. You know what I'm saying? I like to see everybody's version of their things. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, yeah.
That's what generates the I guess the I'm blanking on the word, but the not creation, but the inspiration.
Inspiration, yeah.
That's what drives my inspiration, is seeing everybody else's stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, oh, that's so cool. What would I do? You know what I'm saying? And so anyway, but it's pretty awesome. That's pretty cool. I'm pretty sad that I never got on the bus and got one of those, man.
Yeah, I didn't either. Man. I missed it.
Like, I know plenty of people that have them, and I should have pulled the trigger on that thing. I remember seeing it for like $20 on Amazon, and I'm like, I might wait for it to go down before I. That was stupid idea right there, man.
Oh, worse than that, I've seen those I remember seeing those in the store at Walmart, even like at clearance price. And I was just like, maybe if it goes down a little lower, and then it was gone.
Yeah. I did not ever see it on clearance or anything like that, but I've been looking for that thing. Like I've like when people said, "Hey man, Ross might have it" or whatever, I started hitting Ross or like all those places. After that, I'm like, okay, and all I would find is that truck with the barrels or the crane. And I'm like, I don't want that. Right there.
Maybe this Christmas at Ollie's they'll start showing up. Maybe.
I don't know, man. I think people have just bought every damn one of them that they've seen. You know what I'm saying?
That wouldn't surprise me either.
Yeah, it's like crazy. Like I wish they'd make a Lightyear 2 just so they'd bring out this thing again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, it's a great ship. I like to see people's interpretation of it. That's pretty awesome. Like I said, because it's big enough. Because at first I didn't get it because I didn't think it would be big enough for what I'm trying to do. And now it's like I really kick myself because because doesn't the back door like go all the way down, and there's like a little bit of a cargo hole. Yeah. I hate myself sometimes for missing.
You can fit quite a lot of cargo in that ship.
Yeah, like at some point in time, I may break down and pay whatever price is on eBay or something, something. You know what I'm saying? But anyway. That's one of the probably awesome vehicles that a toy line has made in the past few years. That's not like not like Hasbro or something like that.
Yeah, it's not too big, but it's big enough, like you said, to make it applicable to whatever you're doing.
Right. Yeah. So, do you follow Lockdown Productions?
No, I don't.
It is.
No, I've never heard of it.
All right, you should. I'll send you a link, but I'll show you a link or send you a video of like how many he's got.
Okay.
He's like
across the water,
and he's across the water, and so he's got a ton of them, but I'll just send you a couple of links to some of his stuff. He's huge into Joy Toy and customizing stuff and all that stuff. Anyway, but he has quite a few of these, and that's probably the reason.
Okay.
You know. Anyway, let's see here. This next one. Okay, so this one is pretty cool, man.
Yeah, that's the one I said that if it doesn't sell, that's one of my favorites that I've made.
Okay. So it hasn't sold yet, is what you're saying?
No, it hadn't sold. I put it for 120. I usually sell them for between 88 and 90 with shipping included. But I put it for 120 because it does come with the droid, the whole droid. And the head comes off and goes underneath the ship. So it can, it's like your astromech,
So what head sculpt is on that guy?
So the head sculpt is a 3D printed that I got from some guy on eBay from China. And it fit on the Joy Toy figure, and it just looks cool.
I gotta say, I've said it before, but that Joy Toy figure right there is probably one of the best like space Joy Toy figures that they've ever made.
Totally agree.
Boyang Fang or whatever his name is. I don't know how to pronounce
something like that. Yeah.
Like that one, I've got like about 4 of those guys, and they are awesome.
Yep.
Now, where did the TIE wings come from? Because they look kind of smaller than like what would be on a TIE.
Yeah, they are. They're from the Kylo Ren mission fleet vehicle.
Oh, okay.
Nice choice, man. I've been wondering, like, so the what is the? I'm grasping for straws here. Okay, the N1 by the mission fleet. So I'm thinking about using one of those for like a Jawa like jet or something, because I feel like you can put a Jawa in that one.
Probably.
So because the cockpit's supposedly small enough, because a Jawa is about the same size as a mission fleet figure anyway. But
yeah, you're right. Yeah, that would fit.
I'm thinking about using that as like a Jawa or a small alien, fighter or something like that. But
it's funny you mentioned Jawas. I have a Jawa, like a floating RV that I've been making, and there's like 2 parts of it that I just cannot figure out what to do with, and it's been sitting here for almost a year. I can show it to y'all if y'all want to see it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let me grab it real quick.
Thanks, Define. I'll check it out. I'm sure I'll get one at some point in time. I don't mind. 46 is not outside of what I would pay for that, so it's like that feels like it's fairly decent price for it. But yeah, for sure. Coolio. I don't even know how to say that. Cooley. Yeah, Quill or whatever. He would fit in that for sure. Okay, so let me pull you up. Hold on a second. Let me take this down for a second. Okay.
So it's a let me see if I can see it here. So it's one of the what do you call it? The snow. Yeah, the snow one, but it's a smaller one, like a mission fleet one.
Okay.
And I just painted like a Jawa. It's got a little net with some what do you call it? Some droid parts.
Yeah.
Got a little radar dish on top. Got a little.
So how long ago did they make that one? I can't remember.
This one's been a few. Oh, maybe it's the Connect one, the Kids Connect one, or something like that.
That's all.
It's got little blasters on the bottom to kind of keep it levitating.
So what do you think? What do you think? What's holding you back on it? What do you think?
So I use these it's the little holes here. I use some plastic to put in there, but I don't like it. I bought some hobby wood to maybe make it a little bit better. Make it a little bit better quality. We'll see what happens.
It looks pretty cool to me, man. I mean,
one of you guys has to put together like a Jawa war band with your Jawa ships and Jawa fighters and everything. When you do that, I want to see those pictures.
Yeah, I definitely can't wait to see how you end up finishing that. I
had that Jawa mech suit. Did you see the Jawa mech suit that I had?
Oh no!
All that one. Do you have it handy or?
Say what?
Do you have it handy, or have you sold it?
It was on my Instagram page.
I'll check it out.
I'll go and look for it.
Right.
Yeah.
So, guys. So TX Customs, and what's does the number stand for anything?
Yeah, you should, dude. You said you've been collecting comics for 30 years.
The 28
2814.
21-4.
You don't know what that stands for?
I'm going blank here for a second.
That's the Green Lantern section for Earth.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
You're right. I was more of a Marvel fan.
Yeah, I get it.
But yeah, no, I do. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It sure is. I hate that I missed that, but yeah,
it's all good.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, were you a comic book fan?
I am. Have you a little tidbit for you? Have you? You said you've been collecting for 30 years. Have you heard of the company Boxes in Action?
Boxes in Action?
Yes.
I don't think so.
Custom
about 2 years ago, I pretty much did a cold quit. It was mostly Marvel and DC that I was like in for the longest time. But no, I haven't heard of them.
Okay, so Boxes in Action is a company that I started in 2013.
Okay.
We made custom comic book boxes. And shortly after, Marvel and DC started copying us, and that's where you have the graphic comic book boxes now.
Really?
Yes.
So so you made the comic book boxes.
We did. We had a license with Todd McFarlane with Spawn. We did some Spawn boxes. I made some boxes for Jay and Silent Bob, and a bunch of other Image guys and independent boxes. Yep.
Okay. All right. So you're the reason why we have graphics on those comics boxes.
I am the reason for that. Yes.
Well,
yeah. We have a lot of Star Wars boxes too.
I was gonna say I have a few of those. Mostly I don't, because I'm more of a long box guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I have a few of those boxes. I think I have maybe a couple of X-Men, and I think I've got, I don't know. I have one in front of me, an Incredible Hulk one, but
check ours out. Boxes in Action. We have a couple of Transformer boxes.
Okay.
And we also, which was, you said the Optimus Prime. The trailer is the long box.
Oh,
nice.
And then we have a shorter box than a short box for the cab.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll have to check that out. I pretty much mostly Marvel and DC for most of my time, and then whatever company made Transformers or Turtles, or G.I. Joe, I would follow them a little bit, and Dark Horse and Image, stuff like that, but anyway, I've got too many boxes around here. It's like that adds up, what I'm saying? It's not like you just collect one comic, your 30 years. It's like you almost get like the whole, thing of them,
Yes, absolutely.
But that's that's awesome.
Yeah, I remember in the 90s when I was working in a comic book shop, there were some people that were like buying like whole long boxes full of comics like every other week or so.
Yeah, man.
Crazy.
Yep. Yeah. It's just as crazy as action figure collecting.
Yeah.
For me, it's like, I do remember there was probably times where on a certain week, I'd probably have 20 to 25 books that I would buy. Right.
Yeah. Yep.
And there used to be where you could afford to do that.
Yeah, this was a long time ago, and you got like a fat stack like that for like $30.
Right.
$30 is like that.
4 books. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's, and to me, I love Marvel. Like, I love them to death. And it's not to get off like on a comic tangent. It's like, to me, it's like, and I hate to be like an old guy or whatever, but it's like, for me, I got into it like in the mid 80s, and that was just the perfect time for me to get into it. Right. Yeah. It was all new to me, what I'm saying? And so I rode that wave for about 8 or 9 years, because if you stay in comics long enough, you're going to find things that you don't like about it. You know what I'm saying? Sure. Whatever, if you stay in something too long,
Yeah.
But I was into it enough to where it got me, it hooked me, what I'm saying? And I love it. And that's the time that I'm always chasing.
Yes.
Is those times when I was like in my teenage years trying to get back to finding comic books that, made me, feel like they did,
Yep, absolutely. Totally with you.
But I still get a few here and there. Like I'm mostly a big Spider-Man fan and X-Men.
Okay.
And so I'm like I said, whenever I hear something cool coming out, I usually like, well, let me check this out. You know what I'm saying? You know, I had to take a break because I was like, for like 10, 15 years, I was probably just buying stuff just because it was a habit.
Right.
I've been getting this for so long. I got to keep the run going and all that stuff. And I wasn't even really so much buying or so much wasn't even reading all the stuff. I just was getting it just because
Yeah.
But anyway, this is a pretty cool setup.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, man. That was something that I had some of those rocket launchers, and I'd fit them on the top of a couple of vehicles, but I don't know, it just didn't feel right. So I just wanted to make a set to where it was like what it is, like an artillery type set. I think it fit really well.
Yeah, that's a great shot right there. I like that a lot. You got the action, you got the figure, the guy. I guess you got your case of weapons, and then you got whatever, and then the weapon. Yeah.
And to me too is like I've had people ask me before, and also I guess like try to recommend or that I put more decals or to like put like a rough finish on stuff. And to me, it's like I feel like less is more. And then I also feel like when I put less decals on it, it leaves room for you, the end user or the end buyer, to kind of make it your own. You can put your own stuff on it as well,
Yeah. I totally agree. I think this was maybe the one where I was like, man, this guy's awesome.
Thanks.
I was like, this is awesome.
I appreciate that, man. Those are some cool little jets, man.
I mean, you couldn't have picked a better pilot for that. You know what I'm saying?
And again, that was one of those where I had got it, and I was like, oh, do I go G.I. Joe? Do I go Eagle Force? And as I pull open my drawer, this guy falls out, and I'm like, boom, it's a riot plane. It's a riot jet. That's it. That's his,
Yeah.
I think it looks really well. It looks really good.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. Hey, good morning, Ian. Thanks for joining us.
That's one of those G.I. Joe movie planes, isn't it? Or
no, that one right there. That one is a Dollar General jet. Yeah.
Wow.
So what color is it originally?
White, just all white. Yeah.
Man, do excellent work. Excellent.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, because like I said, some of these I don't know what they're from, but the fact that you have to basically refinish them from what the original colors were, you know what I'm saying? It's like that ain't easy.
The thing you got to do is a lot. So I see a lot of new people that try their hand at it, and I noticed that they try to paint these vehicles like put together still. Like you have to break these things down for them to look, like the best that they can. So a lot of, I'll spend an evening sometimes taking everything apart and cleaning it and making sure that it's ready just to be primed, Yeah. It usually takes about a full week, a week and a half, depending on how big the project is to do one of these vehicles. So
yeah, that thing right there looks perfect.
Appreciate it.
Now, here's a question for you, just a real quick like production question.
Yeah.
Do you guys get like a lot of humidity where you are in Texas, or is it pretty dry?
Not so much in Austin. In Houston, yeah, for sure, but not so much up here.
Oh, okay, because like where I am in Alabama, we have like tons of humidity, so it's like hard to take stuff outside and spray paint it down.
Well, when we get the extreme heat or extreme cold, I have to bring my paints inside, and even sometimes my vehicles, and I just take them outside to paint, and then just let them rest out there for a little bit, and then bring them back in, because definitely the weather will affect how the paint sets.
Yeah.
I learned that the hard way.
Yeah, I'm telling you, painting is tough. It's at least it is for me. It's it's definitely something that I've trying to get better at, but it's like, yeah, it's, you know, it's not easy, that's for sure.
It's not. No, it's not.
But yeah, so yeah, like I said, this to me, this was like the perfect shot right here, man. It's like, yeah, it's a really good one. I like this one too. You know, I like the fact that it's on some rocks. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's on its own planet shot. You know,
It's another planet. Yeah, I agree. And I knew where I wanted to go, but I didn't realize how well it would blend in with the figure and the ship. I think it just looks so camouflaged and so cool. That ship sold pretty quick. That one actually went to Hawaii, which is another thing I feel like. I always joke with my wife, you know, I'm like, you know, my ships are banned in, 6.5 galaxies. Like, I sell these everywhere. They've gone to Puerto Rico, to New York, to Hawaii, to Australia, to, everywhere, and I'm like, the Empire must hate me, like I got these guys everywhere, but this was a cool one. Again, it went to a guy in Hawaii. He also bought one of my my new cargo loaders or my cargo haulers. Yeah, it's, again, I like the wings. The Mission Fleet wings are actually attached to is it a B wing or a Y wing? I think they're Y wing engine, 3D printed engine parts. It just looks like so. And again, just as it evolves, I got them now to where they're I can put them on magnets, and which to me also makes it easier to ship. I hated shipping stuff that's glued, and like,
yeah,
I just always worry that when it gets there, it's going to be falling apart.
Yeah, for sure. Is it Ian? So hopefully you don't have the death sentences.
Yeah. If I do, I don't know about it.
Right.
If you looked at my new post, I got the Hangar 76. I'm in the middle of nowhere, man. In the middle of the water, so I can see anybody coming from 100 yards or 100 miles away.
Nice. Yeah, that's that to me is like when you have a shot, like that, where you're trying to take pictures of stuff, and it works out way better than you probably thought it was going to.
Yeah.
It's like that's almost, like a perfect, like, I don't know if you could have planned that shot any better than what, how it turned out,
Right. Yep. I appreciate that. Yeah. And sometimes I don't. I go out there and I have an idea, and then I wound up taking a shot that wasn't even close to what I had planned, and it's way better than I imagined.
Right. Yeah. That's the way I think the happy accidents happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like there's sometimes I'll take a shot of a figure or scene or something, and I'll be like, I don't know if I really like it or not or whatever. But I was like, maybe. And then, and then sometimes they'll turn out, like, wow. I was like, I can't believe it came out like this.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, for sure.
It's just a happy accident.
Yep.
Okay, so this is your hauler, right? One of your haulers?
So both of those are the ones that the guy in Hawaii bought. He bought that one and this little hauler.
Nice.
Cool.
Again, it's a Cobra maggot.
Okay.
Cobra maggot, and then the back part, I just took the top off, painted it. You got to sand. There's some little tabs in there you got to sand down to make it flat in the back. And then I put the little droid head up there in the corner. Put some of those greebles on there, and it's a great little cargo hauler, man.
That looks really good. And so I have also thought about going back and getting a few of the vehicles, like some of the Cobra vehicles and stuff like that, G.I. Joe vehicles, like some of the ones that I guess maybe people don't really, I don't know,
recognize.
Well, yeah, but I was going to say, because I didn't have them as a kid. Like, I was pretty much from the start of G.I. Joe up until about, I don't know, maybe about 89. And I think I was pretty much out of it by then. But all the neon colored, bug, you know what I'm saying? That one. And there's another one, but they're all like, maybe it's a slug or something. I don't know. I'd have to go back and see who the names of them are, but they're like neoned out and stuff like that. Yeah. And they don't really look very good, but I'm like, man, if I was to paint that thing like a darker color or a gray or brown or something, that could be, like a desert hauler or something like that. I was like, man, I was like, that would be awesome,
Well,
and
so the bug is that the one that goes the submarine, right?
I think,
I think so.
okay, it's because it doesn't have like a bubble on
It's
the
got
front.
two bubbles, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So that one I think would be a great adventure team submarine. I would love to do that one.
Yeah, it's like, and some of them are not really that expensive on eBay.
Right.
Because like I don't care about if it's complete or whatever, all that, as long as it maybe has, I don't know, the doors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like I care less about the weapons and stuff like that. But it's like, to me, it's like I've sort of like, man, maybe I should get a few of those or one of them or whatever, and just try my hand at it and see how it would work for me, in my world or whatever. But but
this is some real out there designs on their vehicles, especially later in the line.
Yeah, it's like so I'm an enemy, and then I'm gonna have neon colors, right?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody can see me, right? Nobody can see me, right?
Hey, cocaine's a hell of a drug, man.
You're right. You're right.
Do you get on the ground, take the pics, and decide you get back up again, asking for a friend? Yeah, man. I do get on. I was telling these guys before we started, the pictures I took today, I had to get in the water to actually get in them. Sometimes I have to get down, get in the water, get in the dirt. I'm almost 50, man. It's rough getting back up sometimes. That's all I can say, but it's worth it at the end.
I am 50, and it is tough getting up and down. I promise you that. You got to do what you got to do to get the shot, right?
That's right.
That's right. So I love that. I love that little hauler right there, man. It's pretty cool.
But about getting the shot, Bob had mentioned something earlier about taking a picture, and I can't remember what it was, but it rang a bell. So like, oh, I know what it was. He was talking about a Big Bad Toy Store using Billy Kessler's pictures, right? And about the sales thing. And he's got a great point there, like so I enjoy taking the pictures. I love taking the pictures, whether I sold them or not, but it absolutely helps you sell these vehicles, right? For instance, I had one of those Jurassic World trucks that I had. It was a Dreadnought vehicle, and I sold it for X amount of dollars on eBay, right? So I was looking for another vehicle to customize, and about 6 months later, I happened to run across the guy who bought it from me, and he had it for $30 less, but he took a picture of it on his bed with his, his blankets around it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it had been up there for days, and nobody had no watchers, no nothing. So I bought it from him for, $30 less than what he bought it from me. Took it back. I just did some touch-up paint, took some more pictures of it, and sold it back for the full price. Like pictures have a big deal to do with sales for sure.
Yeah, it's presentation.
Absolutely.
The cooler you make it look, the more people want it.
Yeah, you gotta entice them, because it's like if it's just on a shelf or something, that's cool or whatever. But it's like you put it out in its elements, that's like taking it to another level.
Yeah. Or people that, and no offense if neither one of you guys do it, but I've seen people post stuff on Instagram like with their vehicles on their oven. Like why? Why are you taking this on your oven?
It's like, sure, take pictures wherever you want to, sure, you know what I'm saying? But it's like if you wanna have something that's really gonna stand out, it's like if you can get it into a setting to where that's where it looks, that's that's light years away, from what it is.
Yeah,
it is imagination, it does. It's people got to start out too. You know what I'm saying? It's like not everybody, can. I don't know. I mean, it's a process. It's a journey. You know what I'm saying? You got to find your process. I like this one a lot.
That's a cool one.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's like I don't know how deep that is, or how wet you got. Like that's a really, really great shot right there.
It's not. It wasn't that deep. It was soggy, but I was able to stretch enough. I was just waiting for me to go down into it, but like to slip and fall, but I didn't, thank God. But that's another one where it's like I just love water. I love being around the water. I love water shots. To me, it adds a bit of realism to it. And again, it looks like it's off planet.
Yes.
And I try to get that. I try to get as much of that off planet look as I can when I take a picture of these ships. You know.
Well, it's hard to get. It's hard to do water too because you can't fake it in your house.
Right.
And
right.
it's like So all right. So we got. Hold on a second. Somebody want to know what ship is this?
So the ship I use for these. Like a lot of these are the same base. It's just different wings that I put on them.
Right.
I call it the CW76. I have 5 different types. The base model of the ship is you can use either the Captain America Strike Fire or the Iron Man. I don't know what the Iron Man one is called. It may be called a Strike Fire ship as well, jet fighter. They came out in I think either late 90s or early 2000s. And you can still find them on eBay and on just about anywhere for a pretty decent price. Sometimes you can find them in the box. People are asking like $200 or $300 for them, which is ridiculous. But again, like Brian said earlier, I'll buy as long as it has the canopy. I can put parts on any other piece of any other part of it. I'm not worried about it as long as I have
the canopy is like the canopy. Is like the main thing you sort of have to have because it's like otherwise you'll have to try to get one printed or something like that. And those it doesn't always go the best when you have to print stuff off like for that.
Right. Yeah. So everything else, like the landing gear, the static landing gear on the back, is actually other parts of the ship because the way if you once you see the ship, you can see a lot of stuff that I've taken off of it that helps it stand up on its own. But yeah, those are from the wings on there from the Y-wing Scout bomber from the Rebels line. Yeah. And again, those are on magnets as well. They turn independently. And they also come off, which is really nice too when you're shipping.
Yeah, like I said, I couldn't have told you what that vehicle was just because, like I said, I am not really so much a vehicle figure or person, but it's like, especially if you'd have told me it was from like the 90s or whatever, I definitely wouldn't have been able to tell you, from that. Yeah. But that's excellent. It's like, to me, I was like, you could probably, and I'm sure you do, but I'm sure you probably, know a lot of vehicles, right?
Yeah.
And know what works well for you and all that. Right? Yeah.
It's again, every customizer has their go-to, right? And they know their vehicles and their figures, from front, back, like the back of their hand. And yeah, this is one of my favorites. Again, it's one that I feel like I haven't seen anybody else do them. I actually have seen a couple of different customs, but not use the wings that I'm using. So I feel like that this is one that's kind of special to me. That's kind of my niche,
Oh, I think most of the stuff is pretty special to you. I think because, like I said, it's I haven't seen. Like I said, it's a lot of, to me, it's a lot of diversity, you know what I'm saying, in this stuff that you custom. And so to me, it's like, because like I said, most people that are into action figures or something like that, they probably couldn't tell you that was, Captain America or Iron Man's, vehicle or whatever, because for one, it's been off the shelf for how many years, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so, and for one, if they did see it, they wouldn't think it, they wouldn't think it was this because you've, recolored it and made it to a better version of itself, actually, I
appreciate that. That means a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure the original colors were probably bright something.
Yeah. They have
blue or red, probably.
Yeah. So they have two, the Captain or the Iron Man comes in a gold version.
Okay.
And then a maroon version, and then of course the Captain America has that blue, the blue and red version. So, yep.
Yeah. So my 375 addiction said he doesn't know what's better: the custom vehicles, the paint jobs, or the shots. It's all perfect. That's true.
Appreciate it.
For sure. It's all perfect. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
I just like looking through your posts and stuff because I'm like, oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. You know, it's like, oh yeah. And so I'm like, okay, maybe I do need to like add a few vehicles to the to the to the multiverse, I guess, you know. Speaking of vehicles, this I think you already mentioned that this was off of a motorcycle, right?
Yes. Uh-huh.
This is, to me, this is like a perfect it's a perfect custom, you know, because it's like, man, it gives you everything you want in it, right? It's you got your figure, you got your figure with his vehicle, you know what I'm saying? And it's like it's awesome. Yeah.
Well, so this is one of those where like the weather wasn't good. I hate taking pictures inside, but it was like I have to get this out there. Like I love it so much, you know. Like I hope everybody loves it. I had to just take a picture with what I could, what you know, how I could get it. And the other thing I don't know how to do is, you know, some of those guys take pictures and then they can Photoshop them to where you can't see what's holding the bottom up. You know, if I could do that, I'd be dangerous, man. But unfortunately, I haven't figured that out yet. So,
hey, man, we all have our limits, right? We got the next step to take into the you know, the journey. Yeah, Dom, he outdoor pics is his deal. So it's like you're speaking his language when you have the pictures outdoors.
Well, outdoor pics and outdoor play.
Yeah,
I mean, I've seen some of his videos of his like battles that have been out in his backyard, and I'm just like, oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I love this little bike.
Lucky.
It's great.
Yeah, that to me, that's awesome. It's like, and here's the thing, it's like, you know, I can't do that either as far as like the you know, erasing stuff out of pictures.
Yeah.
But I can sure like put something in the way, you know, to kind of keep you from seeing the thing, you know.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like that's my trick, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, as best I can. It's like, okay, well, it's supposed to be, you know, it's like a shot I took of the biker scout this morning. Yeah, there's a clear piece holding it up, but I put a couple crates and crap in the way to
I see what you're saying.
keep you from, you know, seeing that, you know, but because you know, it's otherwise you got to put like, you know, a little small pin or something in the bottom of it where you can't see it, you know, or something, and you know, it's not the easiest to do there. But
and sometimes fishing line is a lot more reflective than you think it will be.
Hey, that was a really good shot you had, man. I didn't notice
thank you.
Line until like I think you mentioned it or something.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
Oh, thank you.
It's hard to do flying guys, okay?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, and then getting the line actually like to stay connected on the little flexi bars was kind of a pain because I tried taping it down, but then it just slide out. And
that's probably the worst for like people trying to take pictures of stuff flying. Is not so much. It's like trying to come up with a way to do it to where you can't see what's holding it up, and to get it to actual stay that way long enough to get a picture.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like it's one thing to just, you know, if you have a, you know, like I said, we're all learning, I'm sure, how to do a lot of this stuff ourselves, but it's a process, you know, and so sometimes we can fake it and sometimes it doesn't work, but it's like I said, I like the bike.
I like the display base you did for it.
Yeah,
makes it look like it.
So that base actually was with the motorcycle, and I just used the decal sticker to cover up their little sticker logo. So
cool.
It worked out perfectly.
Nice.
Yep.
Well, so yeah, man, all these customs, they're awesome. You know, make sure you guys go and check him out. Do you do in YouTube for public, or is it just kind of private, whatever?
No. So all the videos I have for my customers on there are all public.
Okay.
Like I have a helicopter. I think it's the Bat helicopter I did, a Cobra Bat helicopter. It's got like over 11,000 views, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I just basically just go over each vehicle. You can see stuff I've done, even backpacks from way back when. So they're all posted up there, and it's the same thing. It's TX Customs 2814, same as the Instagram page. I think I also have a link from the Instagram page to the YouTube channel as well.
Steven, if you just hang on a few minutes, we'll start and go back to the very beginning. Okay.
Yep.
But yeah, so yeah, guys, definitely follow or check him out on Instagram. What he said, TX Customs 2814. It's pretty cool. You're on Facebook too, right?
No, the Facebook I use. I post on a page called Outcast Customs, OUTKAST, I think it is.
Okay.
Outcast Customs.
Yeah.
I was on. Yeah, Bob's on there, right? Aren't you, Bob?
Yeah, I think I've seen you in either the in one of the Eagle Force groups or
Yeah,
one of the other.
I've seen you somewhere.
Or the 118 Premium Hub somewhere. I've seen. Yeah.
I used to be on quite a few, and then like I found that like some of those like have like 100,000 followers, right? And then like I post something and it's like 2 likes, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about normal. That's about normal.
Yeah. So when I post on Eagle Force and Outcast Customs, you know, they show a lot of love. I get a lot of comments, a lot of likes and stuff. So I feel like that I'm not just posting it for no reason, you know, just to post it. So I stick with those two, and then my Instagram page. Yep.
So have you sold a mini bat helicopter?
I'm trying to think. No, the only helicopter. Well, the only mini helicopters I've sold were the. Oh no, wait. I sold a Adventure Team one and a Riot one, but all the other ones are the big Chinooks.
Okay.
Yeah, I need to go watch that video because when you said a bat helicopter, I'm getting this like mental image of like they've just either got like bats attached to the side that they drop like bombs, or they like push them out of the cargo area. It's just like go get them.
No, the ones I made 2 of them at the same time. So I took so they're all black and then it has a yellow striping on the side. And it just having both of them together, taking the picture, it looks really, really cool. You should check it out.
Oh well.
Yeah. Like I said, I love the customs, man. Keep it up. I'll definitely live vicariously through you, through the vehicles and stuff.
I appreciate it, man.
It'll give me maybe a chance to do something myself, or maybe get something from you down the line or something. But yeah, definitely keep it up.
To me, when people say they'll message me, and I get quite a few DMs, and they're like, "Hey, man, look what I made. I took the vehicle that I saw for you, inspired me to make this, make that, and can what's your advice on this?" You know, I love those messages, man. Those are better than almost the likes. You know, It's really cool that people are paying attention, and if they're getting something from me and they really love it and they're trying to do it on their own, that really makes me happy.
Well, it's pretty unique, man, because it's like you can't just, I mean, it's not like you can get this anywhere. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can't go, to the store or get this, or you can't, it's like the customs, they're called customs for a reason. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not just swapping parts, you're not kit bashing this stuff, so it's like there is an art to it, and so, and not everybody can do it, you know what I'm saying? So,
and I keep that in mind when I try to price things. I try to price things I try to make them as affordable as I can. And I try to include shipping and everything with it. I know there's some guys out there that charge a ton of money for customs. And I mean, if that's the value that they're putting into it, God bless them. To me, it's like, I try to, if I buy like one of those 6-wheelers, like I don't sell those 6-wheelers for more than $40, Right. I try to get them at like $15 or $20. I'll put some paint on them, do my thing. And and then that's with shipping. I'm paying $10 shipping. So I'm making like $10 off of it, if that,
You might need to like up the price a little bit, man.
Well, I'm not, the thing is like, again, I'm not trying to get rich off of it. Right. Like, but I'm trying to make something that, for one, it's an outlet for me. Right. It's an outlet for me. And then 2, like if I can, make somebody's collection that much better, or they're happy, it's more than just about the money, you know?
Right. Well, typically, most of the times when people make customs, I say typically most of the time, it's like, if like I don't make anything to sell or anything like that, but it's like I feel like I'm kind of the same way. Like I would be feeling, am I charging too much for this? You know what I'm saying? And you got people that just blaze on past that, thinking, with like, well, I'm charging X for this because of whatever, and I'm like,
yeah,
well, that's great and everything. I'll say, but I don't think I could feel comfortable doing that. You know
exactly.
So it's like, it is what it is. But yeah. So do you have anything that you want to plug? We're kind of getting to the end here. Is there anything that you want to mention or anything?
No, man, just the continued support is much appreciated, and you guys having me on here is an honor. I've done a couple little things with the Fort Worth, Dallas GI Joe Club. They've invited me up. I've been getting some invitations here and there to talk and to speak, which is really cool, man. I really like that people have actually come across my page and seen my stuff, and it makes me feel like that, because like everybody, right? Like you make stuff and you don't think it's that great. You know what I mean? Like, and when people are like, oh my God, this is amazing. You're like, really? Like, I mean, yeah, it's kind of cool, but it's really cool to see people's reaction and that people recognize some of my work. It's really cool.
Well, you're making stuff and it's like, it's not for everybody.
Right.
But there's a lot of us, that like are into action figures and some of these lines that, we love this type of stuff.
Yeah.
And that's the crowd I think that you probably, definitely love the most is the people who are into this, what I'm saying?
Sure, absolutely.
That's, action figures and stuff like that. That's why we're here. And to see somebody, customize figures or vehicles or their dioramas, setups, stuff like that. That stuff is like cool. You know what I'm saying? It's cool.
Yeah, and Bob, when you see when you see Bill Murphy over there, tell him, hey man, I know a guy that can make some cool vehicles for you.
If I get a chance to, I will. If he's at the, I'm not sure if he's going to be at Joe Fest or not, but if he is, I will definitely put a bug in his ear to,
sure.
Start spamming him on Facebook until he wants to, one way or the other.
He's seen my stuff. He's actually messaged me before and said, hey, is that? What did he ask me? He asked me if that was if I had 3D printed something, and I'm like, no, that's actually a vehicle that I just cut up and put other parts on it. And, he's like, oh man, I thought that was an original. I'm like, I appreciate it, but we can make an original. Let's do it. But
yeah,
totally. I'd love to see him start doing some vehicles.
Some of your stuff, I thought you just maybe repainted or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like I've some of these vehicles I've never even seen before, and I'm like, I did not know that much, some of that stuff went into, some of that, because it looks like that's how a company would have made something.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, to me, that's a pretty good sign of knowing
that
you definitely know what you're doing, when that's the case.
I appreciate that. Hey, real quick before I forget, have either of you jumped on the Robo Skull bandwagon yet?
He has.
Oh yeah, I got one coming. Yeah.
Oh, good. Me too. I got my figures in. I think you saw I'd made a quote unquote escort ship for the Robo Skull. Did you see that one?
I did.
I think so. But I'll definitely go back and double check just to confirm.
They're still taking pre-orders for that, are they not?
I think so.
Yeah. So. Man, I tell you, it's like I have some of the figures. I love the Skeledron's head sculpt. I think those are amazing head sculpts for like androids or whatever. Yeah. And I'm kind of almost pulled the trigger on that pre-order, but it's like I've got to get some stuff out of the way first. If it's still around, when's it supposed to release? Do we know?
Oh,
eventually.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Is
that what you said, Bob? Eventually?
Yeah, eventually. I don't know the exact date. Some people have been saying this summer. But
something. I may put some pre-order money down on that, because I do like that vehicle, and it's just you don't have money for everything, but
right.
But I feel like that one's pretty worth the price.
It's pretty awesome. And Bob, correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't the vehicle, isn't it interchangeable with 3.75 and 6-inch figures?
Yes.
Yeah, I
it'll
mean, how
do
cool is that?
modern and
I
6-inch.
did not know that. I guess
Yeah.
that's why he's making 6-inch figures too, I guess. Huh?
Yeah, I mean, what a
Yeah.
huge selling point. You could
Yeah,
use
that's
either,
awesome.
that's cool, man. That is
Oh
cool.
yeah, that definitely cast a wider net for customers.
Oh, absolutely.
So, do you have anything that you want to talk about or say before we get off here?
Oh no, I was going to ask Chris if he was going to be setting up at the DFW show in a couple of weeks, or a couple of weeks from now.
No, I talked to them, and I set up last year, and man, it was a bust, man. Like,
oh really?
Yeah, man. I had a lot of people look. I felt like people were more into in that show, I felt like they were more into the 12-inch GI Joe line and the old school line than they were of anything new,
Oh, okay.
I did sell, this bike did sell there. I sold the bike, and I sold a couple of, I made my money back on the table, and that was it. I brought a lot of stuff home, but I literally listed it on eBay, all of them on eBay, and I sold them, within the week, which was fine. But I really wanted to. I was kind of disappointed. I will be there as a fan though, because I do collect Valaverse figures, and I know there's going to be an exclusive there, so I'll definitely be on scene to pick that up.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
You'll have to let us know how the show is, because
yeah,
I
would think that you got to know, or I should say, some of that show stuff is kind of hit or miss.
Yeah.
You definitely got to go with the ones that work for you, and don't.
Right.
But yeah, so I'm just going to do the I guess so. Wednesdays is the Wednesday whip with Pirates of the Galaxy and Rad Toys.
Okay.
4 p.m. They do their show. On Thursday, Toy Domination with Dom and Joe at 8 p.m. And then World Makers Consortium on Friday nights at 7 p.m. with Rad and Josh, Famine, and Eddie. I think Famine usually has a show on Tuesday nights, usually. And then Will and Jim do their 1-8 team on Sundays. 2:30 or 3.
Yeah, 2:30 Central. Yeah.
So we're gonna have another show next week with someone that's in the industry, and I'll release that as this week goes on. But I think you guys will I think it'll be a fun show. 8 p.m. Well, it's 7 p.m. my time, Josh, because
some of us live in Central Time.
I'm Central, but yes, it's that's what time it is. But yeah, so next week we'll have another show, two shows back to back. It's unheard of, I guess. But yeah, I appreciate you coming out, Chris.
Yeah, thank you, Chris.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. It's good to put a name to the face too.
Yes,
thank you.
Same with you. And like I said, I'm sure there'll be, I'm sure people will watch the stream after this, and so you may get some messages.
That'll work, man. Bring them on.
I would not be surprised if he does. Yeah.
Bob, I appreciate you doing this again.
Oh no, thank you for having me. And thank you for letting me co-host with you.
I appreciate everybody coming out and watching the show and in the chat and everything. So I'm gonna wrap it up and say, you guys have a good time. All right. And,
you too. And
everybody. We'll see.
A big thanks to everybody that tuned in. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. And we'll see you guys later.
Bye.